All right, welcome back, Recliner Sports Reporters, to another week's episode of Keep the Change podcast. We are in week 3 of the NFL, and baby, it feels good to be back. I'm Mac, and with me, as always, is Robbie. Mr. Roberto, how you doing, sir?
Oh, doing good, man. Living the dream. Loving having football back. Fall weather's here in Ohio. It's about 50 degrees when you wake up in the morning. Gets up into the 70s still. This is the best time of the year.
It is the best time of the year. I'm glad to see you're in good spirits after Monday night's tragic events. RIP. Again, you got to say it. I respect the division, and you hate to see that type of stuff. So, Nick Chubb, I'm sorry to the Browns organization for your injury. I wish you a speedy recovery. It's never good to see awesome players like that go down. So I definitely feel bad for you guys, but I'm glad to see that you're in good spirits and not totally depressed and in a hole.
It took a good 24 hours to get past that point. Just basically was completely numb from the point of the injury on until sometime last night. I finally came to grips with it, but just sucks to see it happen to Chubb. He's just one of the most humble, hardest working guys in the league. Just feel awful for him. The game was irrelevant after that. Like, honestly, I would have woke up feeling the exact same way had we won the game.
Now,
Just,
hot take. What was your thoughts on the hit?
I think it was dirty. I mean, not to sound like an angry Browns fan, but the Steelers have a pretty dang good history of being a dirty organization and intentionally trying to hurt players. I actually, just before we got hopped on here tonight, was seeing a replay of the very first pick six, and Harrison Bryant leans out trying to make a play, and after who was it, Hightower, whatever the dude's name was, runs by him, like, plays, he's well past the play. Minka Fitzpatrick with a helmet to helmet blow from the side to a defenseless player that's leaned over, about to fall over just after the play. Minka's just a dirty player. There's no room for that in the league. I mean, you have rivalries. You don't like each other, but you never try to hurt somebody intentionally. There's no room for that in sports.
I agree, and I mean, I love Mike Tomlin, but he did trip a player, so that did happen. So,
Uh, what's his face? James Harrison outed him about giving him an envelope of cash after hurting. Oh, who was it? I can't. After hurting a player though in a game, Mike Tomlin handed him an envelope of cash, and it's just the league doesn't do anything to the Steelers.
that's some Sean Payton stuff right there, man.
Yeah.
Well, we have some best bets for you for this weekend. Recliner Sports Reporters, this podcast is brought to you by anythingdisplay.com. Head on over to anythingdisplay.com today for all of your media and marketing needs, whether it be trade show or events. They have banners, flags, tablecloths, whatever you need to make that make your business visually upgraded. Head on over to anythingdisplay.com and get that hitter today. So it's funny, the games we were going to talk about tonight, we had come with the idea that we wanted to give. I was going to get 2 games that I like best bets on, and Robbie was going to get 2 games that he had best bets on, and we were also just going to talk about the Thursday night game too as well. It ended up being, when we were doing our research, I texted you my 2 games I liked, and you're like, bro, you won't believe it. I've picked those exact 2 games. So instead of us going around in circles and giving you advice on games that we really don't feel confident about, that wouldn't be like good gambling advisors. But these are both games that we both feel very, very confident about. And we're also going to give you Thursday night's best picks, because I also really do like this game against for Thursday night. I think there's a lot of cool prop bets to take here. And Thursday night football, just, you never really know. I mean, you have a better chance.
Always ends up weird.
Yeah, you have a better chance of winning a scratch off than you do betting on Thursday night football. But yet, I still buy scratch offs. So let's start with the Thursday night football. Robbie, go ahead, get us started here. 49ers, Giants. What's your take on how this game is going to play, and what is your best bets? Giants are opening up as the 10-point underdogs, which is very, very big. And the over/under is set at 44. What is your takes? How do you think this one's going to play out?
Yeah, I think it's a big line, but I think the Niners are going to cover it, especially with Saquon officially being ruled out. Giants just haven't looked all there this year. Don't know if Vic the answer at quarterback, if he was the $150 million man that he was worth it. But I like McCaffrey for an anytime touchdown, just like probably most of America. And another guy that I think is going to finally break the end zone this week. I love the dude, George Kittle. I got Kittle for an anytime touchdown too, and I'm going with the under on the points.
Okay, I'm glad you said that. Thursday night football. Here is a trend that you will see me bet all year, and it is take the under on Thursday night football games. It hit so many times last year, and I'm just going to keep riding it. I agree with you. I think the under is going to smack here. Here's the reality, though, is I think you're right. I think the San Francisco 49ers cover this spread. All right, and it's for a couple reasons. One, you're talking about a New York team that Saquon's out. Daniel Jones has 4 picks already through 2 games. The O-line's given up 10 sacks. I mean, he's just been too inconsistent, and he's not getting any help, and they just lost their best running back. I mean, this game, to me, I see San Francisco clearly covering this. Now, San Francisco's last 2 games, they scored 30 points in both those games. So even if they score 30 points, I could still see them holding up a defense that already has 4 interceptions this year and has, besides last week's game, relatively kept teams in the low points. So even if they score their 30, I don't think the Giants can score 14, especially not with the production that they've had the last 2 weeks. So I think the under hits, under 44. I love the -10. And my player props for this one, Daniel Jones to have an interception. Love that one. I think you're right. I think Kittle is good for an anytime touchdown. I think C-Mac is good for an anytime touchdown. Ayuk has been hot, but my ringer bet here, I think Deebo Samuel gets the first touchdown of the game.
Ooh,
That's my first
touchdown.
touchdown. He hasn't broken in yet. First touchdown of the game going to Deebo. I think it's his time. And then another one that I really like, you want to throw it in there. I think right now the San Francisco's total points is set at over 27.5. That's 2.5 less than what they've put up all season. I think it's pretty spot on. I'm going to rock with the over on this one.
See, that's one, man. I'm really thinking. I think that San Francisco's going to end up hitting the under on this one because I think they're going to hit cruise control. I see them jumping up early, getting up 14-0, 17-0, and then just running the clock out. Not really pushing much. And I see a 21-24-3 victory for San Francisco.
That is such a Thursday night football game score, 21-3. We all waited all week just to kick off, and the late night you staying up Thursday just to go see some pitiful game. Classic Thursday night football.
It's been Thursday night football since it's become a thing.
Since Prime took over, man. Nothing against Amazon. I love Jeff Bezos. I shop on it every time. But you all did something to Thursday night football. And Russell Wilson, too many times Russell Wilson. There's a curse. Okay. He put some bad malarkey on there. All right, so I love it. The next game we're going to talk about, we have the Lions versus the Falcons. I'll go ahead and start us off with this one. The Lions are favorite at home at -3. I love that line. I think the Lions, I know I just put on my way too early predictions right now is the Lions are number one. I'm sorry, Lions. I jinxed it because you lost a close one to the Seahawks last week. But I think this Lions team is trending really upwards. And I think this Falcon team has 2 wins over 2 really mediocre teams in this league right now with the Panthers and the Packers. I think the Packers are doing well, but I don't think that's really tough competition to me. I think the Lions had really tough game against a tough Chiefs team, and then the Seahawks aren't that bad either. And I think Seahawks ended the season well, and Gino's been carrying them. So those are 2 like good close games. I think the Lions cover this one. I think the only reason the Lions are -3 and not more is because they have a lot of injuries this week. But I still think that they can cover. My anytime touchdowns are David Montgomery and Amon St. Ramon. I think that Amon St. Brown, I think he gets in the end zone. I think both those guys get in the end zone, and I wouldn't be surprised if Goff goes over 2 for passing touchdowns. So that's my picks for the Lions Falcons. What's your thoughts on this one?
So I got a nice little 6-legger put together that you can go to same game parlay, switches the line to 3.5, -3.5, still taking the Lions. I bet this the last 2 weeks and it hasn't hit yet, but with David Montgomery coming off the injury, and I'm not sure if he's 100% playing this week. I got Gibbs getting 30 through the air, 30 receiving, and 30 rushing, as well as 40 receiving yards for Laporta, and Jared Goff going for 250 with 2 tutties.
Dude, I love it. The Goff man. He
Man,
has
he's been playing like a top pick.
What a story. Dan Campbell pretty much revitalizing that guy after he pretty much got shipped out to Detroit. That was
Yeah,
pretty much what happened
yeah,
there.
yeah. You got to take him in this trade just because we don't want to keep him. Now look at where he's got him.
Yeah, and I think with the Lions being at home, I think this is a good win for them. I think this is a good statement win with them losing a close game to the Seahawks last week. I think they notch up another one in the win corner. And honestly, I know the Falcons are 2-0, but I think it's a really fluffed up 2-0. Like I don't think they really haven't done that well. Ritter's production really hasn't been super high up there. I think they've won the games, but I mean the Panthers aren't to me a top team in this league. I think the
No,
Panthers are one of those like you should win games.
yeah,
I think the Packers, yeah. I mean, I don't think they're a bad team, but I don't think they're as great as past years. And the same thing with the Packers, they beat the Bears, which the Bears are clearly showing that they're not doing very well this year. So
yeah.
I don't think the Falcons have really beaten anyone. And I think the Lions have played 2 really tough, close games. I think they come out here, they cover the spread, and I think they cover it pretty easily.
And man, I'm not gonna lie. That's just that Lions Falcons game is one of the games that I'm just most excited to watch because of the 2 rookies.
Yeah,
Jameer Gibbs and Bijan Robinson have both just been explosive and fun to watch this year. They're saying they're going to get Gibbs a lot more involved this week, so I'm excited to watch those 2 kind of duel it out.
I really like that Jameer Gibbs anytime touchdown. Lock that in, folks. Um, and then the last game that we're going to talk about, the one that I'm super excited for because I
Yeah.
don't get to watch the Bengals until Monday night. So I'll be tuning in for this game. Vikings versus the Chargers. This is at a straight pick 'em, which it honestly should be. You got Herbert fighting for a win, and you got prime time Kirk, who is literally having an MVP season right now. Literally, just they were showing like his projection is the team to finish 0-17, but he throws for like 60 touchdowns and I
Yeah.
think like
How
10,000
do you
yards.
even do it?
Yeah, this dude is putting up MVP numbers, and his team can't find the win column. I don't think it has anything to do with him. I think when you start putting up those numbers, you eventually have to win some games, but it's going to be a fun duel between two amazing good teams. I think Pick'em is the exact same line as the exact line it should be. Go ahead. What's your thoughts? How do you think this one's going to play out?
And I got the Vikings winning it. I got Captain Kirk throwing same line as Goff, 250 for 2 touchdowns. And then I got Addison and Hawkinson both getting 50 receiving yards. And I know he didn't get in last week, but I got Jefferson getting in for the anytime touchdown this week.
Dude, lock that in. Wah, wah, wah. I should add effects. Wah, wah, wah. That is a bet right there. That is a great one. I'm going to lock that one in myself. I super love those picks. And I love Hawkinson anytime touchdown too. I agree with you.
Yeah.
I am definitely taking the over on passing touchdowns and over on passing yards for Kirk Cousins. I think Jefferson, you're always good for. I think he's like a ROI on just taking him every week,
Mm-hmm.
putting a unit on him every week to score a touchdown. You're gonna get your money back eventually,
Yep.
especially if you're you like the way I play blackjack with is progressively. If okay, I'll just double it. I'll just double it up next week.
Yep.
He's the dude finds the end zone. But I think this is going to be a burnout or a shootout. You know, I don't give any slack. I would also look to see Herbert also taking over passing yards and
Yep.
Herbert also taking over 2 touchdowns. I wouldn't be surprised if that man also puts up some big numbers, and I would slam the over here. I would
Okay.
slam it. I think this is a light electric game against two really fun to watch quarterbacks and two really fun teams. I think the Vikings
Yeah.
and the Chargers the last 2 years have been, really good watch football teams. And again, I think Pickham's the perfect line for it.
I,
But
I feel like if you looked it up, these two probably have the most over the last 2 years, like you were just talking, the most one score games in the league. It seemed like every week one of those two teams was winning, losing on a last second field goal, last second touchdown, going to overtime after coming back from being down 21. Like every game with these two teams just finds a way to be exciting.
yeah, right. At 1 point. Now I wonder if there's a line to
The
take
bet
is
for that,
margin of victory.
I like it.
1 to 3. Margin of victory 1 to 3. Ooh, I don't know what the odds are for that. But if you're
I
listening
like it
and
though.
you see an odds, lock it in.
You like that?
You like that, baby. You like that margin, winning margin, 1 to 3. Um, well, that's my best bets for all the games, but I do have a teaser. Now, here's the thing. There's mixed reviews on teasers. People will tell you don't take teasers. Teasers are pointless. Blah, 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 blah. Here's why I love teasers, okay? Because bookies work all week to mess with your mind on the points and the spreads, okay? So they know some stuff that we don't know, and if you don't think that they know stuff, you're a liar, okay? But here's the deal. With a 6-point teaser, you're essentially buying a touchdown. All right, so you've taken everything that they said should happen, and you're just buying it with less, making the odds higher, but you're buying 6 points, which I think anytime you can buy points, buy some points. It gives you a little bit of cushion. Why not? Right? The bookies they're not trying to lose money, so they're going to set lines that they think are pretty accurate. So I love taking 6-point teasers. I've hit both of my 6-point teasers 2 weeks in a row. I'm super pumped about this one. It's got the games we were just talking about plus two more. So my 5-team 6-point teaser, we're taking 49ers at -4.5, Vikings at +6, Lions +3, Seahawks to a pick'em, and the Dolphins at -0.5. I
I'll
love
take
it.
all those.
Right.
I
I love it. I love it. I love it. That's going to take you at +450. That's the odds you get on that. So that's good money in my book. Throw a unit on that and thank me later and keep the change. Any other parlays or bets that you got for our fans?
Man, I want to try to stay away from betting Browns for the rest of the season. but I like Myles Garrett getting a sack this week. He's just, I know he hears all the people talking about how he didn't do anything. TJ Watt just outshined him, and they aren't even in the same league. And Myles Garrett had a great game. Numbers don't always show what happens out there, but I think he's just going to be playing with a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. And that whole team, I feel like now having time to process losing Chubb, who guy's a leader. He's the heart and soul of the team. I think we got it. I think the Browns are going to win. I feel safe picking the Browns straight up this week.
I love that Myles Garrett sack, and I know we were talking before the show. I think defensive turnover for the Browns. I think that happens this week.
Another thing, I'm thinking it's you guys' time. Your offense is waking up this week. I'm expecting a big week from your Bengals.
You notice how the Bengals fan hasn't said one thing about the Bengals. We don't deserve to be talked about.
That's all right. It's early in the season. Burrow doesn't start early.
Yeah, I just saw the stat.
Starting to get the rush shaken off, and I think this is the week where it all comes together. We see a big week from Jamar.
Yeah, Burrow is. I think they just said it was 1-12 in his first 2 games, the past 3 seasons or whatever.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. I didn't see it. Don't remember the exact numbers, but I saw that.
Sorry, 1-7. 1-7.
Yeah.
1-7 in the first 2 games of the past 3 years. So, but you look back, guy came off a torn ACL, missed camp, appendix, missed camp, calf, missed camp. But the thing I'm worried about with Burrow was his he didn't look good finishing that game. And I really wish we would have just listened to Jamar. Jamar knows, man. You know, he said, you know, I don't even want him playing until week 5. You know, but like Jamar said, we live and we learn. Jamar has come up with some lines. He's come up with the L's. He's come up with some knowledge. Jamar's, and which is funny because I feel like he didn't really talk that much last year. This man is just
talking a lot.
Yeah, he's just dropping off all these quotes.
I mean, heck, I like his style. You sling enough stuff at the wall, something's going to stick eventually. You're going to say something, right?
Right? He just let it all fly. All right, everyone. Again, thanks so much. Remember to please gamble responsibly. And best of luck to everyone in their bets. And thank you again all for watching. And as always, keep the change.